So you can see right here that this is the Flatsome theme now that we have it installed on the WordPress website, and we can go in and customize and create whatever type of e-commerce website that we want. So what I want to do first is we want to go and customize our colors and also create our free logo. So we can go about this a few different ways. Let's go back to the WordPress dashboard and let's go through our settings really quickly. So if you do see this notification up here to install this plugin, we can just do that really quickly. So I'm going to click on begin install and then click on install for the WooCommerce wishlist. And once it installs, we can click on the button that says go to the plugins installer and just click on activate right here. If you don't have this step, it's okay. You don't actually need to do this. So don't worry too much about that. And what we can do is just come down to settings and we can go to general really quickly just to show you that if you want to change the site title, you can change your name right here for your website, and you want to keep the URLs the same because you don't want to mess this up, so don't play around with that. But if you do want to change the admin email, you can change the email address associated with your WordPress website right here. And once you're ready, go ahead and click on the save button at the bottom, and then we can go into the permalinks under settings also just to change the URLs. So we want to make them really friendly and SEO friendly. So I like to select the post name option. If you want to do the same, go ahead and select that and then click on save changes at the bottom over there. And we don't need to do anything else, but I just want to note for the time being, if we go to reading, you can see that on our homepage displays, the homepage is set as the classic page. So we're going to rename this to the homepage a little bit later. And then we also have our blog post page set. So for now, let's keep everything as is. So you don't need to click on save changes, but I'm just going to do it just in case. And once everything is saved, now what we can do is we can go and set up the Flatsome theme settings and also WooCommerce. So let's go and do WooCommerce first, just to make sure that everything is integrated. So right here, hover over WooCommerce and click on settings. And now what we can do is for WooCommerce, it's super easy. So we can just type in the business name or the business address right here. So I'm going to type in First Avenue and I'll do New York right here. And then I'll change my state to New York. And you can pause the video if I'm going a little too fast. I just want to make sure that we get to customizing our website because that's the main part of this tutorial. So I have my address right here and I don't need to change my currency, but I am going to enable the tax rates in the calculation. So I'll select that and just click on Save Changes. And once I do that, now what I can do is I can go to the Products tab and the shop page is already set up, so we're good there. And the placeholders, this doesn't really matter, but I'm going to change this to 8. And then for the weight and the unit, depending on where you are and where you're located, whatever dimensions are best for you, go ahead and select your options right here. And then I'm going to have the reviews enabled, so I'm not going to change anything here. And I'm going to click on Save Changes. You can always go a little bit slower if you need to. I'm just showing you what I would change for my website. And there shouldn't be anything to do in the tax section. So I'm going to leave this as is. And then I want to put in some flat rate shipping. So I am going to go to the shipping tab. And what you can do here is you can add your shipping zones. So you can have a flat rate, free shipping, or anything else. So what I'm going to do is click on add zone right here. And I'm just going to have a flat rate for the entire United States. So I'm just going to type in US right here for my entire zone. And this is where I'm going to be doing business. So I'm just going to have the United States, but you can have multiple shipping zones. And then right here for region, if you wanted to do per state, you can do California, New York. You can have a bunch of different flat rates or any type of shipping rates you want. I'm just going to type in United States here and just select this. So it's going to be for the entire United States. And you can have as many different shipping ranges as you want. So I can even add Canada if I wanted both of these to have the same rate, but I'm just going to do for the United States. And once I do that, I can click to add my shipping method, and I'm going to choose the flat rate option right here and click on continue. And then I can just type in the amount right here. So I'll do $10 for flat rate shipping for everyone. And then I'm going to click on create, and you should see that it's enabled. You can always edit this and you can add a flat rate, free rate, whatever you want. And once you do, you can go back and you can also add some additional zones. So If you had somewhere else that you wanted to ship for maybe a different price, you can add another shipping zone. And then you have the catch all if you have some additional regions that you aren't creating zones for, then you can add this so that wherever anyone else is, it's just going to charge whatever rate is in the rest of the world rate. Okay, so that's something to keep in mind. And you do have some extensions, so you can use the WooCommerce shipping if you want to use a premium extension. And you have these ones right here. So I'm opening up a new tab under WooCommerce to the extensions tab. And you can see that you can browse all these types of extensions for payments, shipping, different themes, and different plugins. There's a bunch of different stuff. We don't really need to use any of these, so I just want to let you know that they are here for you. What I do want to do, once you're ready to move on to the next tab, is for payments, I like to install a new plugin called the PayPal for WooCommerce plugin so that I can integrate PayPal. So if you want to do the same thing, then we can go to our plugins tab down here and we can click on add new. You can also use the WooCommerce payments if you wanted to, but I like to use PayPal and I like this plugin. So I'm going to type in WooCommerce and PayPal in the search box over here, and I should see the results. And this is the one that I want from WooCommerce. And you can see it has over 600,000 active installations. So it's very, very popular and a lot of people use it. So I'm going to click on the install button and click on activate. And once it's activated, now we can go back to our WooCommerce settings. So just hover over WooCommerce and click on settings again. And you can see that we have the notification here. Let's just go to the payments tab. And once you're on the payments tab right here, again, if you wanted to integrate Woo payments, then you can install this one. But we have PayPal down here and I want to enable this. So I'm going to check this box and it's going to bring me to the PayPal's page right here. So I can install this. So we can enable PayPal payments. And if you want to install and use major credit cards and debit cards, then you can select this option and then you can choose which payment or option that you want. So they do charge a small little fee because it's a payment processor, but it's very normal, and pretty much any payment processor that you're going to use is going to charge you a fee. So just keep that in mind. And I'm going to just click on activate right here. And then all I have to do is just log into my PayPal account to integrate it. So I'm going to go through this security process. Hopefully it doesn't take too long, and hopefully the same for you guys. And once we have all of our fire hydrants selected, let's cross our fingers and click verify. And now I can just type in my email address right here. So I'll just do that. And you can see right here it says allow PayPal to connect with our e-commerce website with WordPress. So I'm going to click on agree and connect. And now we can click on go back to the WooCommerce website. And when you come to the connection tab, you don't have to do anything here, but I like to just click on the save button at the bottom just to save everything. And once that's saved, I want to go to these other tabs and I want to make sure that for the standard payments, we can select the button options that we want. So right here, first for enable on the standard payments, I want to check this box right here. And on the connection tab right here, you can see that everything is already set up. So if you want, you can click on the save button at the bottom. And once you do that, I want to come to the standard payments tab. So click on this. And for standard payments, I want to enable this. So check this box and then you can come down and in the smart button location for the e-commerce website that we are making with WordPress, I like to uncheck these boxes or click on the X for everything except for the checkout. And if you remove that, you can always just come in here and type it in or select it. And then what I like to do is come to the buttons options and I like to change the color. So this is the style of the buttons right now. And it's up to you what you want to select for your website. I'm going to go with black though, and you can choose whatever options you want. And then once you're ready, click on the save button. And once that's saved, now we can go to the pay later tab. And I just want to disable the pay later. So if you come here and you can see that this is enabled, I want to uncheck that. And then same with the pay later message. So I'm going to select that and then click on the save button at the bottom just to save everything. And then we can go into the advanced card processing just to make sure. And again, it's up to you if you want to accept the debit and credit cards with PayPal. So you can always enable this if you want to. I'm going to leave it as is. So I'll just click on save. And once that's set up, then we are good to go. And there shouldn't be anything to do in these other tabs right now, but I'll just go to them. So for accounts and privacy, if you want to check any of these options, you can. And just note, when you create your privacy policy page, a shortcode link is going to have it linked here for the registration and the checkout page. You can see right here, and there is a draft page in your pages list right now. And if you go to it, you can always publish that. So just keep that in mind. And you want to click on that save button at the bottom. And then for emails, this is not necessary to change. So you can see that you're going to get a notification to the admin email for new orders and canceled orders and the failed orders. And then your customer is going to get emails for all of these other options. And if you want to change the sender options, so the from name, maybe you have a different business name or a different email address, or even the colors for your website and the email, then you can change them here. Okay. And the only other thing is we can go to the advanced tab really quickly, and just know if we create a terms and conditions page, we can select it over here. So we'll try to create one towards the end of this video. It's not actually a page that we customize, but just know that if you do create one, you can just come into this drop down and search for it, and you can type in the words and then just select it, and that's going to set up that page. So just make sure that you click on save if you do make any changes. But that's all we have to do for the WooCommerce settings. And now what we can do is we can go and create our free logo and then go into our theme settings to change the colors for our WordPress website. So for now, I'm going to go back to the WordPress dashboard, and in the video description, there is a link to the Logo Maker website where we can create a free logo. So go ahead and click on that, and it's going to open up a new tab.